So before I get into filming the next workout video today, I wanted to spend some time talking about the next important concept that you really need to understand if you're going to make the safest and best progress with your workouts. And that would be periodization.
One thing I won't do is let you tell me that I can't be great. Who gonna stop me now? Can't be great. Who gonna stop me now?
So let's get right into it. One of the safest and most effective ways to build muscle and strength is using the concept of periodization, which can be defined as the systematic application of overload through the pre-planned variation of program components to optimize gains in muscular strength and/or size, or any specific component of fitness, while preventing overuse injuries, staleness, overtraining, and plateaus. So what this means in more plain English is that it's basically a cyclical training method performed over a set period of time using the concept of progressive overload, which you can learn more about in this video right here. And it's done in a pre-planned program with the main focus on improving one or more components of your physical fitness. So why should you use the concept of periodization in your training programs? Let's discuss some of the benefits so you really understand this a little bit better. Following a periodized program design reduces the risk of overtraining and injury through fatigue management by properly modulating factors like intensity, volume, load, and recovery. It also optimizes your performance over a specific period of time. The cyclical structure of a periodized program ensures both general and specific goals are met through a safe and effective progression model. It also works very well for most individuals of any training experience level and accounts for time constraints as well as many other external factors. So this training method really breaks down your overall goals into shorter phases, also known as mesocycles, which are on average about 3 to 4 weeks in length, and they're intelligently designed to basically support your overall ultimate goals in a complete training period that goes on for several months to a year, also known as a macrocycle. Each mesocycle is then further broken down into shorter microcycles, which are about 1 week in length on average. And they each serve a different purpose in achieving the goal of that particular mesocycle. So if you think about it, this really isn't that much different than goal setting in anything else in your life, where you might have a much bigger long-term goal and you set midterm goals that support that. And then to support the midterm goals, you set much shorter, reasonable and achievable shorter-term goals. There's several different ways you can do this using the various methods of progressive overload, which you'll find in this video up here. So make sure you click there and watch that later to really get a better understanding of all the different ways that you can progressively overload your body and really how and why that works as well. But for now, let's just use one of those methods for increasing the load lifted to build muscular strength and size as just a rough example. With any particular exercise, start with a weight that you can lift to failure for about 12 to 15 reps for 3 to 4 sets. And you can do this once or twice per week, depending on how frequently you work that muscle group. The next week, bump the weight up roughly 5% to what you can lift for 10 to 12 reps per set for the same number of sets, which will be a small percent increase over what you lifted the previous week for those 1 to 2 workouts at exactly this level. The following week, bump it up again to a weight that you can hit for 8 to 10 reps per set for the same number of sets. And possibly even go another week following the same approximate progression of increasing the load by about 5% and reducing the repetitions for the same number of sets. That 4th week is optional though, and really depends on your own goals and training program. The next progression comes in the following week, where you return back to lifting 12 to 15 reps per set, but your new baseline load is increased by about 5%, which you should now be able to handle for that same 12 to 15 reps that you did on the lighter weight that you started with a few short weeks earlier. Basically, rinse and repeat these mesocycles again and again, and you'll see noticeable results in muscular strength and size as you continue going through them. The only other catch is that this assumes you're following a well-designed training program, you're doing proper form on all the exercises, and generally doing a lot of other things properly, like following a healthy and balanced diet that supports reaching these goals, and also you're getting enough rest, recovery time, and sleep in order to rebuild your muscles bigger and stronger than they were before. You should also understand some other key training principles such as volume and intensity, as each of them play really important roles here as well, and you can learn a little more about them in this video right up here. There's actually different types of periodized training programs that you can follow, including the more traditional model of linear periodization and the non-traditional model of undulating periodization. I'll get into more specifics about what each of these are in a future video, but for now, here's the general idea of what each one of these are. Most people will fall under the traditional linear periodization model, as it provides an overall improvement to muscular strength, size, endurance, respiratory, and technical abilities. This method follows a relatively linear progression where volume and intensity are adjusted inversely through each cycle in order to continue making the desired improvements. The non-traditional undulation periodization model can be more beneficial to more advanced level athletes, as it follows a constantly fluctuating program design where volume and intensity are consistently varied inversely in a way so you can continually make progress without letting your body fully adapt to the various stressors being put on it, while still providing the proper recovery time needed. So in the end, unless you're a pro athlete or are very experienced in your training program and have followed a linear periodization program for a couple years or so, and you have some specific higher level performance goals in mind, then the linear periodization training model is where most people are going to want to start and stick with for quite some time. So as I mentioned in previous videos, any training program that we develop for our clients at FitLabb.com incorporates the concept of periodization, as it's the safest and most effective method in order to reach all of your fitness and health goals. Failing to use this in your training could lead to things like overtraining, injuries, not recovering properly from your workouts, or stagnating in your progress, all of which can be very frustrating if you're really putting in the hard work consistently into your workouts. This is a great example of how working smarter always beats working harder, and when you combine the two together, you get the best results by far. Speaking of doing something smart, while you're here, why don't you hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on if you haven't done so already, because I know you're not going to want to miss all the great content we've got coming soon. And while you're at it, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and leave a comment below on what you want to see in future videos and what you liked about this one. So I'm actually going to cut this off here because I have another workout video to start filming right now. But until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and always remember to check your ego at the door. Have a great day. So this training method typically breaks down your overall goals into several shorter, what? Huh? So what this means, translated into plain English, is that it's basically a, oh God, I think I don't speak English. So let's get right into it. One of the most, there's actually different types of periodization. I swear, what did I eat, man? Now the hiccups. I gave myself a haircut yesterday. Bald spots, thank God. There's actually different types of periodized training programs that you could follow, including the more traditional linear training. Oh my God. Oh my God. Take 37. I suck. But leveraging off of the new, can't talk. There's several different ways you can do this using the various ways. There's actually different types of periodized training programs that you can follow, which include the more traditional linear, my God. It's the 87th time I've tried this. All right, it's workout time. Yeah, I think I need some dinner first.
If you're looking for some crazy, I'll tell you everybody's standing in a line for the water slide.